Hey, I'm talking here.
Why don't you try renting out that vacant lot between your ears?
Okay, doke. Hey, Steve Rizzo here, and welcome to Hey, I'm Talking here. Hey, folks, thank you for joining. And this is a show about empowerment. This is a show that will take you to a better place personally and professionally. It's an entertaining show. And we're getting some really good reviews, and I appreciate everyone who's tuning in and absorbing the common sense success strategies that we have to offer. And this show, as you well know, is brought to you by the Bob Project and Conversations with Bob. Now, I know a lot of you know who Bob is, but some of you don't. Bob, Conversations with Bob is a book that was written. It's still in print. The printers are still having a tough time getting the paper. Not just my printer. Printers all over the country are having a tough time getting paper. But it'll be out soon. And if you want to know who Bob is a higher power that resides in each and every one of us, and always brings out the best in us, regardless of our circumstances. Now, some people call this power their higher self, their true self. Some people call it the universe. Some people call it source energy. Most people call it God. It really doesn't matter what you call it. In the book, the higher power, of course, is called Bob. But what really matters is that you need to know that this power has the answers to all of your questions and solutions to all of your problems. All you have to do is learn how to connect with it and communicate with it. And this book will show you how. And I'm pretty certain that after you've read the book from cover to cover, you will realize how much power you have over every single aspect of your life. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Or as far as Scump would say, that's all I have to say about that. Now I'm proud to bring up two very important people. My producer, my director, and my tech person, Bruce. Brucey, how are you, man?
Doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Things are cranking.
Well, I searched all through my closet today and found actually something with green. It's like just a few green stripes, but
is that what that is? Is that green? Oh, my underwear is green. So, and no, I'm not going to show anybody, but as you know what, I should be wearing green because my mom, rest her soul, is Irish. My dad's Sicilian. I know, great combination. I get drunk and kill people, but my mom is very upset right now because I'm not wearing green. But hey, Mom, sorry, I love you anyway. So, and also let me bring up my co-host.
Before you say that, for those people who have trouble reading written words, tune in to Hey, I'm Talking Here, because you're going to get that support you need until the book actually does come out.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Words, see? He brings up the obvious. Things that I don't think of, he does. He's the tech guy, the producer, and the director. And right now we're going to bring up my co-host, very talented, very good friend of mine. And I love the guy. His name is Eric, the Bam Man. And here's
I also would like to say that if you'll come here every other week, you'll get the information you need until the book comes out. I'd also like to say that.
Yeah. That's why I love you guys. Here's to you, my friend.
Cheers.
Theodore, how you doing?
Teddy Legal's on. Eric's on.
Wow. Hey, Eric, great. He shoots.
Eric was on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of conversation with him. And actually, he and I become friends on Facebook, and he is a good dude and posts a lot of great comments and a lot of great content. Everybody needs to follow him. Good dude.
Yes. And folks, please, we love your comments. We love what you have to share. If you have any questions, please ask. Chrissy. Oh, I love Chrissy. Chrissy is one of the bartenders at my favorite Italian restaurant, as you know, folks, Francesco's. A place where friends meet, great food, great bartenders, great wine. And Joan is watching, who is a friend of mine that goes to Francesco's. It's a beautiful thing when life works. Theodore,
happy St. Patrick's
Day.
Everybody's getting there. Everybody's getting in. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You doing good? How are things?
Wow. And Missy Lavelle. And Theodore, Missy Lavelle is my social media my social media marketer, and she's doing a scrupulous job. And we will be promoting her on the show periodically. We have a graphic. If we have time, we're going to try and show it today. If not, it will definitely be on the next time. And I'll give you all her contact information. Missy Lavelle, Eric, bam.
Bam. There we go.
Bam, man. Cheers. Brian, you have your one? Joe Fusco. I got to tell you about Joe Fusco. Great guy. Great guy. He lives in Vermont. He was vice president of Casilla Waste Systems. I spoke for him twice. And since then, and that was years ago, we have become very close friends. As a matter of fact, he wrote a testimonial for my book that you love, Eric, Get Your Shift Together.
Love that book. Incredible.
Yeah, and thanks for joining. My cousin Danny. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Danny's wearing Irish because he's wearing green because he's Irish. So anyway, what do you think of our topic, Eric? What do you think?
I absolutely love it because I think it's powerful, and I think it's something that everybody needs to hear, whether they're struggling or they're not struggling. You know, there was that old, you know, I mentioned Zig Ziglar before, and I love Ziglar. And there was an old Zig Ziglar thing when he said that he was talking to this guy, and this guy said, you know, when I really get down, I put one of your cassettes in, and it gets me back up. And Ziglar said, why you ever stop listening to me?
Yeah.
You know? So when things are good,
yeah,
we need to be thinking about how we're thinking. And when things are bad, we need to be thinking about how we're thinking. So
exactly,
it's perfect timing for everybody.
Yeah, and today's topic is about a power shift in focus, how to power shift your own focus when times are tough, and how to shift into a positive zone to make life look easier, because it's part of the human condition to make challenging situations worse than what it has to be. And as a matter of fact, I think, and if you disagree, you can tell me, what is it time for, Eric?
It's time for the freaking Rizzo memo. Let's go.
Right.
Let's
go.
The
Rizzo memo.
Hey, folks, it's time for the Rizzo memo. See, got it right here, hot off the press. It absolutely, and it really does, it absolutely amazes me that there are people who have been given every opportunity in life and still manage to sabotage their success and destroy any chance at happiness. Somewhere along the way, they adopted a negative perception about life, and they continue to reinforce that perception by obsessive negative thinking. Folks, let's face it, it's difficult to feel successful when you keep focusing on your mistakes, setbacks, failures. And likewise, it's impossible to be happy if you consistently feel victimized or singled out when life isn't going the way that you planned. You got to remember this, because this is so important. Reality is whatever you identify with. And if you keep focusing on what isn't working, you're always going to be in some kind of turmoil. You make a difficult situation worse than what it has to be when you're unable to shift your focus and way of thinking and appreciate what you have rather than fixating on what you don't have. I don't know if you know this, but you got to think about this. If you go through life consciously, you can pick this up yourself. But I've noticed this. People who are successful consciously or unconsciously think successful thoughts. Whether they're aware of it or not, their predominant thoughts are on optimism, wealth, health, abundance, and it's on a consistent basis. They don't allow negative thoughts of deficiency and failure to take root in their minds. And that doesn't mean that they don't have negative thoughts. We all do. It simply means the majority are positive, and they refuse to allow negative thoughts to seep in, to take root, and to control their lives. And whether you believe this or not, there is an incredibly powerful universal law. It's the most important law by far that God created and gave to us. And it's called the law of attraction. This law simply states the more you focus on your lack, the more of that you're going to get back. The more you focus on what isn't working, the more your life won't work. I'm not making this up. That's just the way it is. It's called the law of attraction, and I know you've heard of it, but a lot of people don't realize that they fall victim to it day in and day out. And that is the Rizzo memo. That's all I have to say about that.
Touchdown. Touchdown. I don't know why I'm like touchdown. I think this for me is one of my favorite subjects and one of the favorite things we're going to talk about, because I love the law of attraction. I was doing that before I even knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
Right? The Secret comes out and I'm like, holy shit, I've been doing this my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just dive into it. We're getting a few more comments over here. Shift happens. Eric is awesome. We've got Tracy here. Hey, Uncle Steve. Tracy's on.
Tracy's my godchild.
Nice.
Love you, Trace.
Zizzo. Hi.
Well, Rizzo, that's my son Sean's one of his closest friends. Hey,
The,
Ziz.
the
Thanks for
next
joining
comment
in,
is from Teddy Legal, and practice the power of positivity in everything you do. And let's dive in with just this comment to start.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Right.
But everything in life is easier said than done. It doesn't mean it can't be done. I'm sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
But you have to train your mind to, something bad happened, but there's good to come from it. There's good. As I thought about this subject the last couple of weeks, one of the things I used to do when I was younger and I was in sales, I didn't want to fail ever. And I still don't like to fail, but I learn now what fail is: first attempt in learning, right? If I fail, it means I tried. It means I've learned. It means I'm going to get better. It means I'm figuring it out. We have to fail, but don't look at a failure as I'm a failure. It's a chance for me to learn and get better and restart and be a better person and be better at what I do, or be better as a father, or be better on this show with you, or whatever it is, right?
Yep. Failures are do-overs. Mistakes are do-overs. That's what I taught my son, and I teach my grandchildren the same thing. The same thing is absolutely. But let me give I think a really, really good example on how powerful the law of attraction is. You can have 5 things happening in your life right now. 4 out of the 5 can be going really bad. I mean, horribly wrong. And 1 could be going incredibly great. And if you make a conscious choice every day to focus on the one thing that's going great on a consistent basis, and you allow yourself to feel good about that one thing in your life that's happening, you will notice a gradual positive shift in momentum taking place in the other 4 that weren't going well at all. And in time, all 5 will be going in the direction that you want it to go. But it could also work the other way, Eric.
Yeah.
You can have 5 things happening in your life. 4 out of the 5 can be going great. I mean, you're hitting it out of the park with those 4, but 1 could be going really, really bad.
Right.
But if you're making that choice to focus on that one thing that's going bad, and you're thinking about it, whining about it, complaining about it on a consistent basis, you will slow down the manifestation process of the other 4 that were going great.
Yep.
This isn't my opinion, folks. This is how it works. This is what separates those who are successful and happy on a consistent basis from those who consistently fail and living a life of misery.
One of the crazy things to me about social media is we all have those people. They're like Facebook is an awful place and Instagram is an awful place because everything's negative and everything's this and everything's that. Those are your friends. Those are the people you choose to be around and choose to be connected with. Want to change your social media and change your Facebook?
Yeah.
Look at who you follow. Start unfollowing people and follow things that put good thoughts in your head and watch great things happen. I'm just telling you.
And another way to look at that's great advice. But another way to look at that, if you want to insist on staying and listening to those people, why are you focusing on that?
Yeah.
Don't allow it. Just read it as it is. It's just words. It's when you take it personally, it's when you focus on it from that negative perspective is what becomes your reality. Yeah. Why don't you focus on the great stuff that happens on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter or anything else? Your whole life is based on choices. And for every single choice that you make, whether it's made consciously or unconsciously, there is always a consequence. Always. In fact, folks, where you are, all of you that are listening, where you are at this point in your life is based on choices that you made at some point in the past. Those choices are the key factors that determine the quality of happiness that you have right now.
I had an old boss, Mark Duffy. There's Ashley Yoakum is on, and not to make this a commercial, but this may be the greatest mortgage magician I've ever met. She's incredible. If you are looking for a mortgage, she can do it in 46 states. And what I want to say about her, though, is if you connect with her on Facebook, and she's one of those people on Facebook, it's positivity. I'm at the gym. I'm doing this. I'm with my kids. She does a lot of things right. That's the kind of person you should want to follow on Facebook.
Here's to you, Ashley.
There's to Ashley. I will tell you, I had an old boss who used to always say, what you focus on expands.
Yeah.
Right. And that sometimes is the power of positivity. It's the power of positive thinking. What you focus on expands. And sometimes you mentioned, you just said, well, you could have 4 things going right, and the one thing that's not going right is killing you. Push it to the side.
Yep.
Be done with it. One of the things that constantly amazes me, I have a 10-year-old daughter who's here in my house tonight, right? And we look at our kids and we expect them to get straight A's, be incredible in everything. But then as we become adults, like, I'm not good at math and I just don't want to do it, right? So I focus on what I'm really good at. I have somebody like I'll figure out the other stuff, right? I'm not good at yard work. I have someone that mows my yard. You can say what you want about me. I don't care. I'm comfortable in my skin that I don't care, right? But if I'm not good at it, or if I don't want to do it, and if it takes away from things that I am good at, that's on me. I've got to go find the things that I'm good at, go focus on those, and watch those things blow up.
Exactly. And this isn't, that's great advice. And this isn't Pollyanna, a Pollyanna-ish way of looking at life. You know, sometimes it's okay to vent. Sometimes it's okay to get angry. Sometimes it's okay to throw things in your room and curse. But, you know, you have to know when to let it go. It's when you hold on to it and tell that story over and over again to people you meet along every single day. Well, you know what happened to me? My car didn't start and this didn't work and that didn't work. Every time you tell that story, you're reliving the same thing that happened to you that pissed you off.
Yeah.
It's okay to vent, but you got to know when to let it go. I was driving with my sister-in-law just 2 days ago. And there were certain things in my life that just weren't clicking and I was getting frustrated and I vented to her. And when I did, I just went, whew, and I knew when to let it go. And then I just did what needed to be done that day. And I realized that if I keep focusing on that, it's going to make that situation worse than what it has to be.
Yeah.
We all fall victim to it. So,
you know, this is going to sound kind of weird, but I think sometimes when something bad happens to us, it's okay because it makes us appreciate the good stuff. And this is a bad analogy, but have you ever had a really bad hangover?
Yeah.
And then literally the next day after you get through it, you go back to bed and you wake up the next day and you feel great. You're like, a normal day feels great.
Yep.
Right. So sometimes the bad stuff in your life is there to make you appreciate the sunshine and the normalness, and my life is good the way it is.
It's the dichotomy. Yeah, it's the dichotomy of life.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know what happy meant unless you knew what sad meant.
Yeah,
you know, you wouldn't know what laughter, how important that is, and unless you knew what crying means. It's you have to have the other extreme to appreciate the other part.
Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah, I think one of the things for me, you know, as I thought about this subject for the last couple of weeks.
You're welcome. Keep that up there, please, Bruce. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that keeps me kind of in a positive mind frame, there's two. One, I read this every day. It's just basically a Jesus calling book. Jesus is Bob, right? It's the universe. It's whatever you want to call it. And I read this every single morning. It's just a little devotional, and it keeps me going. And the other thing, there are people that jump on like my Facebook or my Instagram, like, how are you positive every morning when you post something? It's not that I wake up every morning just full of like life and vigor and I'm excited, but sometimes I have to find something that I post on social media that rolls around in my head all day that keeps me going. That's motivation for me. And for you, for someone else, it needs to be that. Because here's the thing. I could post on Facebook this morning and say, I have an awful headache today and my life sucks. And guess what? 30 people will line up and say, I have a headache too and my life sucks, right? But if I post, I feel great today. I know it's going to be a good day. Those same 30 people will say, me too. And you know what? Those 30 people lifting you up and saying it's going to be a good day helps you have a better day.
Yep. And that's how you start your day, with an unstoppable attitude to succeed. We talked about it in one of our episodes. You know, I won't get out of bed. I've done this for years now. I will not get out of bed. I won't take the covers off. If I know I'm in a bad mood, I will not take the covers off and plant my feet on the floor until I shift my focus and way of thinking to what's working rather than fixating on what isn't working. Because people don't realize what you focus on first thing in the morning will formulate your attitude, and you will take that attitude with you the entire day. And you're not aware you're doing it. That's the scary thing. And by the way, Mark, you're very welcome for sharing our information. That's what we do. I'm glad you're absorbing it.
One of the other cool things that helps me in the morning, my alarm, when it goes off, it's actually Steve's voice. It says, "Get up, you lazy ass. You got a day in front of you." And so, you know, so I appreciate. We got a bunch of comments coming in. Bruce, can you throw those up? What do we got?
Yeah, throw them up, Bruce.
We got.
Let's acknowledge them.
Tim Lord, is this the Penalty Box Live? No, but I've heard the Penalty Box Live is coming back because it's baseball season. So, Timmy. Timmy
Thanks,
knows.
Tim. Nice hat.
Happy Thursday, biatches. Okay. All right. It is Friday Eve, baby. Friday Eve.
God bless you. Driving with your sis-in-law. Uh-oh.
Cynthia Mannion.
Hey,
Love Cynthia
Cynthia,
Mannion.
how are you?
Did you
Hope
know
you're well.
Did you know Cynthia was a supermodel or a something like that?
Something.
Well, supermodel or she won like a couple of crowns. She got a couple of tiaras and stuff. I don't even know.
Here's Eric again. First attempt in learning. I love it. What I'm learning is the only way to fail is to quit.
Big time.
That's real failure. Other than that, you're succeeding or you're training for success. It's always a process. It's always a training process.
That's life.
That's what empowerment is all about. And that's what this show is all about. As I say at the beginning, it's about empowerment. It's about taking the stuff that life is throwing at you, and what are you going to do about it? Are you going to lay down? You're going to whine about it? You're going to get up and do something about it? I know that sounds harsh sometimes, but man, that's the way it is.
Is George your buddy or what? My wife practiced positive thinking recently. Had a slab leak at our optical shop. She's thinking new carpet already. LOL. There you go.
There you go.
See that's taking a bad situation and going, all right. You know, by the way, George is a optician here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Good dude. I've known George for a long time.
Yeah.
Theodore, do the things you are good? Do the things you're good at. Find people who are good at what you aren't good at. Build an alliance with them. Then what you're bad at won't stop you. Big time. There you go.
Thanks,
I'm telling you, that's life, man. Focus on
the comments, folks. Keep them going. We love the comments.
Focus on what you're good at.
It's Eric again. It's like baking a cake. Every ingredient isn't delicious in and of its own, but when you combine the bitter with the sweet and add a little fire to it, it becomes something special. That's well said, Eric. That was better than what I would have said, and that kind of pisses me off.
Showing up.
Okay. Steve Blue, I love this man. Laughter is stronger than chemo. Yeah. And you should know, my friend, you're one of the funniest guys. You know what? I consider him a great friend, and for years. And do you know, I've only met him twice.
He has a beautiful mustache. Look at that.
I've only met him twice. Yeah, it's fake. And but no, he's a great man. He's a funny guy. He's a caring person. And that's what I love about life. And that's what I focus on more than anything. Family and friends, especially. I think the older I get, the more profoundly important that is to me. And I am blessed with incredible friends. And Steve is just a perfect example of that.
There's actually, again, the mortgage magician. It's about your words. Words have power. Demand you have a good day. I love that. One of the things I have a friend that we would message each other in the morning and say, I hope you had a good day. And it hit me one day. We need to quit hoping we're going to have a good day. And I would tell her, like, I know you're going to have a good day. Like, I know it. And Ashley's right. That's why she's a mortgage magician, because she probably makes stuff happen. Cynthia Mannion, I'm wonderful, counting my blessings. Cynthia, did you win like Miss USA, or it was Miss California or something? I think so. Cynthia said yes. See, yes. Lynn's on. Hey, Lynn. Lynn has her own show. Lynn, comment put the link in here of what your show is, because Lynn has a show. I've watched it. It's on Facebook and it's awesome. And
I gotta watch it.
She should have both of us on as guests.
Going to work on my job, writing books, and getting ready to go to Iceland this weekend for my son's wedding. Oh, wow.
Nice. Congratulations.
Cool. Enjoy.
Congratulations. I Tim Lord, give us some meat. What are you doing that will make a difference in my business? You know what, Tim? That's a great question. And, what will make a difference in your business that you could hear from me? And I'll tell you what it is. Brady Super Bowl. He's just throwing out comments now. Here's what would make a difference. And I'll tell you what we've done for us that's made a huge difference in our business is we daily focus on how we can validate our customers. How can we make them feel important? Things like I bought these cards from Kellen. You know what? I mail out 10 of these every single week now. And a handwritten card in the mail to people is incredible. And something else we've done to validate people, and it's so silly easy. There's an app called Pinata Farms, right? And I can pull your head, Steve, off and put it on something, and people love it. And you know what? Because we're validating them. We're making them feel important.
Yeah. And every now and then I'll pick up the phone. I think texting and social media and tweeting and all that. I do it. We have to do it, and I get it. But every now and then I pick up that phone and I'll call not just friends, I'll call clients, and I'll just ask how they're doing, how their family's doing.
Yep.
Is there anything I can do to help you? I'm not asking for work. I'm not doing so, and I have a list of their birthdays. And many times I'll pick up the phone, and even if they don't answer, I'll leave a message. Happy birthday, man. I'm just thinking about you. I hope all is well. And I'll get calls back. And the heartfelt thank yous, it just puts it all in perspective. It's the simple things that make the biggest impact. And that's true in any business. And something else that can help you catapult your business. Nothing brings out the worst in any negative situation faster than you focusing on it. Yeah. That's a Rizzoism.
Yeah. Reaching out and asking for anything is, okay, great. But reaching out just to check in and expecting nothing is powerful. So, Hey, Kellen, how are you? Cards that wow. You guys can get these from her.
Absolutely. Great cards, handmade. She's excellent at what she does. As a matter of fact, right now, what we're going to do, she does, Cynthia, and I appreciate you saying that. Kellen is awesome. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to the Word According to Bob segment, and it's called A Power Shift in Focus. And the book the animated book that you're going to see in the beginning was created by Kellen Ann. She did a scrupulous job on this. So, Bruce, if you're there, let's bring up the Word According to Bob, which is it's in the book, by the way. One of the most important lessons that I learned from living on this planet is what truly successful, happy, optimistic people know about life. That they will experience good times and bad times, that they will have sad days and ecstatic moments, that nothing in life is permanent, and that success and happiness depends on their ability to ride the waves of change with equanimity. Successful, happy, optimistic people are not exempt from the trials and tribulations of life, my friends. In fact, some had to overcome incredible circumstances to get to where they are today. But they have this one thing in common, this uncanny ability to shift their focus and their way of thinking to connect to a higher part of themselves, especially when times are tough. That is to say that they allow themselves to temporarily step away from those moments that are bringing them down or causing them some kind of pain. And they gradually begin to focus on aspects of their lives that bring them joy and lift their spirits. They feel blessed for the things that life has given them rather than cursing what life is currently throwing at them. And I really admire the way that they find the laughter during the tough times. And it's not a question of putting blinders on or ignoring that they're going through a difficult time, but rather they instinctively know when to shift their mindsets to something that will put them on a more productive path. And in reality, hey, we all have the power to do this. And it's what I call a power shift in focus. Now, being able to create this power shift and focus is one habit that can have a tremendous impact on your life. Why? Because when you allow yourself to temporarily step away from a challenging situation, and then you steer your attention to something that gradually makes you feel better, you're replenishing your spirit, you're nourishing your soul. Hey, that's the very essence of who you are. You're recharging your inner battery with the emotional fortitude needed to forge ahead. Listen, you can't stop life from throwing stuff at you. You can't stop the unexpected from interfering with your goals and your dreams. But you could always choose how to respond. You can always choose to shift to a healthier mindset when unwanted things happen. People who are happy, successful, and optimistic know that no matter what happens, life still goes on. And they can choose to focus on the things that empower them. They refuse to give up their right to enjoy life. And guess what? So can you. And that, my friends, is the Word According to Bob.
I guess, you know how you know the show's almost over?
I know.
Almost out of wine, dude.
And amen. Thank you, Len. I appreciate that. Let's have some more comments, and let's see what he got here. Yes. And by the way, folks, those message that you hear from the Word According to Bob is the message that's in the book, Conversations with Bob. Humor beats chemo. Reminded me of authentically equals when really. Rodney Dangerfield had great material, but it's the honesty of the material that made his comedy so appealing. Yeah, you're right. As a matter of fact, you just reminded me, Mark. I think next episode, I'm going to tell you my Rodney Dangerfield story. When I did stand up for over 25 years, I became pretty close with Rodney. I headlined his club every weekend in 1986 and most of 87. That's when he was at the pinnacle of his career. And I have a wonderful story to share about him. Someone who focused on the negative aspects of his life. And as a result, it took control of him in a way. But we'll talk about that next episode, if I remember.
Yeah. Well, and Mark's next comment is basically the same thing to what, you were just talking about. And Mark, I would challenge you to go back and watch was it last episode or the episode before when we talked about Rodney Dangerfield? And I would challenge you to read his book, Get Your Shift Together, because there's a large part of it talking about Rodney Dangerfield and how that stand-up routine was pretty raw because it was really him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like what you really thought about yourself and you really shared it, but then everyone laughed about it?
Yeah.
That's got to be a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I got no respect, Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm talking here and nobody's listening. I'll tell you, I get no respect. Even the other day, I told my son to take out the garbage. He said, you married her, you take her out.
Well, we've got a couple more comments.
Let's have the comments coming. I want to get them all if we can.
There's my cousin Jimmy. Hey Jimmy, how are you? He's in Boston. So laughter is extremely important, especially when things are hard. Yeah, I agree.
As I always say, Jimmy, laughter is the pit stop in the rat race of life, and that it gives you enough emotional fuel and repairs to get back into the race again.
Yep. Well, I think we're validate your employees too. Nancy threw that up from a couple of minutes ago. And I was talking about validate your customers, and validating your employees is probably almost even more important.
Yeah.
Because they're the people that support you and lift you up and make you better and push you in, and I love that.
And Nancy's one of those people that if it wasn't for Nancy, I would never have made that shift from stand-up comedy to speaking. She was the one that took me under her wings and taught me the business. She owned the most important speakers bureau in the country at the time. Yeah. And she saw something in me when I was doing my stand-up, and she approached me and said, have you ever thought about becoming a speaker? And that time I was. You talk about coincidences, there aren't any. And it took about a year of me talking to her, meeting with her, and before you knew it, I made that shift. And thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. And she still keeps in touch. She's watching the show, which is great.
Well, and Nancy also wrote laugh out loud. And how many times do we get a text and we write LOL, but we don't actually really LOL?
Absolutely.
We like, oh, like maybe, but we don't actually laugh out loud. I think it's okay to like literally laugh out loud at stuff.
Oh, yeah. And laugh out loud is right. There you go. And Tom Staniford just came by. Hey, Tom. I went to elementary school with him, and we still keep in touch.
Wow, that was back when you graduated like the 6th grade, right?
Remember that Humpty Dumpty story I told you when I fell off the wall in that one episode we did?
Yeah.
I was in a play in 4th grade and I fell off the wall.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Staniford was in the play with me. In 4th grade.
I love that guy. That guy.
Yeah.
Cynthia Mannion, Rodney Dangerfield once was on a train with me and practiced his routine to me on our way out to Long Island, New York. That's amazing. That's a great story.
Yeah.
I love that.
Man.
Therapeutic, the juice that keeps you going. My heart aches for the man that can't find humor in the stuff of life. Dude, I agree 1,000%, man. I sometimes look at people that can't find like a little bit of a silver lining or something funny in whatever happens. And I think, man, I feel bad for them. Like, how is that even possible? But
yeah. The first book I ever wrote was called Becoming a Human Being.
Yeah. Great book.
And and everyone has a human being. It's the essence of life. It's the thing that picks you up when times are tough over and over again. The more you use it, the more it becomes a part of who you are. It's just that we have become so damn politically correct in this country that we're stifling our laughter genes, our humor genes, and it's like, lighten up, people. Lighten up. That's all I have to say. And get your shift together. That's right, Steve. It's great, and it works. It becomes a way of life. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. I think it's, do we have more comments? I don't want to ignore anyone.
Ashley, mortgage magician again, by the way. Your brain is designed to protect you, so you just have to reprogram your mind. I believe God didn't let me down. Why would he now? When you stand back, all the greats have tribulations. One day I hope to write my own book called The Good Hustle. I love it. I can already read it and see it, by the way. Life has a way of teaching you. When you look back, you see, wow.
Wow. You know what, Ashley? That's great. And you're right. God doesn't let you down. It's our own consistent negative thinking is what keeps us down.
Yeah.
You know, people go in and they pray and they don't realize how powerful their thoughts and beliefs are when they're praying. You know, you can't pray thinking that the prayer is not going to be answered and then wait for it to happen. And the other way around too. Some people go into prayer with this great attitude and they go and they wait for that thing to manifest. And then after a day, 3 days, a week, or a month, or however long it takes, all of a sudden they're going, I knew this wasn't going to happen. It never happens. That's on you, because you're stifling the manifestation process. You're squashing the seed possibility for that prayer to take root and to start manifesting into what you desire. You've got to believe that it's going to happen. You have to see it in your mind's eye, feel it in your heart that it's going to happen. And when you do that, it will happen.
Yeah.
That's why people go in life. They go 5 steps up and then 10 steps back, because they don't realize it's their own negative inertia, their way of thinking that's pulling them back down again. Another episode.
I do have a special love in my heart for the people that say, I never win anything, right?
Oh, yeah.
I tend to say, oh, I win everything. And I'll give you a great story. Walked into a Christmas party 5-6 years ago, and they had like 120 like random like drawing gifts that were going to be given away, right? Yeah. I have a fake eye, okay? And I'm not kidding, Steve.
I never knew that.
Yeah, right here, fake eye. I can take it out for you. On this table was a Red Ryder BB gun, right? And I literally, I just claimed it. I said, "Oh, I'm winning that. My God has a sense of humor. I will win that." And sure enough, I had like a ticket, right? And they're like, the guy pulls the ticket out. He said, "I'll just read the first 3 numbers." And I had like 139, right? And I said 139, and he's like, "Yeah, 139." I'm like, "Yeah, it's destined." Like I knew I was winning the Red Ryder BB gun. I just knew it was going to happen.
That's the Christmas story.
Oh yeah. That's
the little kid that shot.
Yeah. Freaking eye shot out. That's me.
That's brilliant.
It's me. Freaking me. It's a real story.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, it's okay if I make fun of me, but you can't make fun of me. Stop it, man. I'm handicapped, dude.
I like that. I like that, Eric. That's hysterical.
Why do you have a fake eye? That's a different story. That's for next week's show. So, or 2 weeks from now. So
I used to do my stand-up bit. I used to do Sammy Davis Jr.
This is
Sammy Davis Jr. Wait, Sammy.
Oh,
Davis,
go ahead.
Sammy Davis Jr.'s favorite one-eyed songs. K-Tel presents. My eye adored you.
Hey, this hurts me. This is offensive.
Though I never laid a hand on you.
That last comment was from Leanna King. If you could, hey, Eric, Leanna here. Thanks for the invite. I enjoyed listening and learning. I will definitely tune in again. Leanna is a friend of mine. I worked for 20 years at a company where she worked, and she was customer service extraordinaire. She's an amazing woman, an amazing mom, and a good soul. So hi, Leanna.
Thank you, Leanna. And please share with your friends, because our goal is to get the message out. It's a very simple message. We do it in a very fun, entertaining way. We're not forcing anything on anybody. We just want to make people's lives easier. If we can do that, then we've succeeded. We've succeeded.
By the way, on the top of my eye, if you take it out, it says Big E on the top of it, just so you know. So on the bottom of it says Rizzo. So
I.
Oh, this Eric. I'm deleting Eric off Facebook now. He's going to come out. You know, he's like, do you know why the one-eyed principal got fired? He only
that's funny.
People. Like here we go, all day long. All day.
I love you, Eric. I love you, and I'm glad you're part of the show now. And I'm glad you shared that with everyone. That's pretty cool, though.
You know, there's only one eye in Eric.
Yeah,
so. You're welcome. This show is off the rails. It's time to go.
A testament to the fact. Well, look at all this stuff. Eric is glad to
Ashley, mortgage magician.
Yeah. All right, folks. Ashley and everyone, and hey, there he is. It's Mr. John, my friend. I'm going to go there now, right after this episode. I'm going to my favorite my favorite Italian restaurant. Make sure my seat's available. I have a seat with my own name on it on the bar.
I bet you
that.
do. Hey,
That's
Pop.
my son.
Hey,
My
Pop.
son. Hey, Sean, and that's my granddaughter right there with her dance
Look
step.
at that.
She won 3 awards a few days ago, man. Unbelievable.
Beautiful.
She's 8 years old and she competes with 13-year-olds. She's great.
Love it.
I don't know who she takes after. What is the update on your book published? Don't know yet, man. It's being stalled. It's been there for a month and a half now. They can't get the paper to print the book. And it's not just my printer or my publisher. It's throughout the country. There's a paper shortage. So, but the audio book's going to be coming out, and the ebook will be out as soon as my website's finished in about a week or two, not even about a week. So you can get that. Thank you, my son. I love you too.
Shawnee, I love you too, brother. I love you too, man.
Eric loves you too, and that's important. And behind it says Ted. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, he's drunk. He's been drinking.
He's like, come on, Ted, get your shit together.
I love
Let's
Ted,
shift
but
together.
he's been drinking. So
Also have we, but we're not wasted like he is. All right, man.
John's still commenting. Hey, Rizzo, Francesca's is empty. It's St. Patrick's Day. Hurry up.
Okay, I'll be right there, John. I promise.
Then we've got Dino. Dino, looking good, Steve. Keep bringing the awesome.
Dino
Dino
Vince. No, wait. Let me tell you about Dino Vince. I love this guy. We've become good friends. He owned one of the best comedy clubs in the country in Cleveland, Ohio, which is where I befriended Drew Carey, who became my roommate. And Dino used to come and visit us when Drew and I were, doing the scene and going for auditions and everything. And Dino was just a great guy. I haven't seen him in so many years. And I was in his room a lot. Cleveland Comedy Club, great club. It was excellent. Thank you, Dino. You're bringing back great memories, my friend. Love you. I hope all is well. I'm going to start crying now.
Ted's like, your eye.
Wait, poke my eye out, will you?
And behind it says Ted. It does not, Ted. It does not.
Your eye.
It does not. I will put Ted on the back of my eye when you get a tramp stamp that says Eric on it. So there you go.
There you go.
Deal. God bless you, fellas. Have a blast and been encouraging and edifying. Here's to the next one. We will see you in
Thank you, Eric, man. Appreciate it.
Chuck Woolery would say.
Love you all. Damn pizza. Yeah.
There you go. It's a thing.
Talk to you later.
See ya. Peace.